And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here? Is this is this really happening? You met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Richter, Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go outplace everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go, we head to Kroger's and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God! And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Okay,
you
so
gotta have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how do you do it? Teach me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you're having a thriving Thursday. I was trying to say a thriving, thirsty Thursday, but I don't want it thirsty for y'all. It don't have to be that difficult today. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping you're having a thriving Thursday, as you all deserve that thriving Thursday, okay? Because there's a lot of great things going on in the world. And if you don't know about it, read the title down below. That's all I got to say. Read the title down below. There's some really great things going on today, okay? Some good possibilities. Now we have to hold up. See, I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the gun, okay? We got some really great things we got to talk about. Well, we got one main thing we're going to talk about today. I see some people in the chats saying they're opposing thoughts on the situation. We will be opening up the phone lines here in a little bit. Today's show is going to be fairly short, okay? I just wanted to give you guys, it's going to be very short. Not fairly, very short, unfortunately. Dude got to take care of a few things, you know what I mean? Unfortunately. But I will be on tonight as well. But we got to talk about this main topic for the day. David will not be with us today, unfortunately. I was really hoping he was going to be on because it was going to be quite a bit of a conversation today, and I feel like this is a big piece, all right? This is a big piece that we need to talk about, y'all. Big piece. We will talk about it, but before I do all that, be sure to hit that like button. This is some good news, y'all. This is some really, really good news. I'm hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Hopeful. You know what I'm saying? It makes me want to sing. You know what I mean? So, please hit that like button down below. Don't forget, if you're a first-time watcher, viewer of this show, please crush that subscribe button. Okay, here it is, y'all. I work hard out here in these streets. Not streets, screets, okay? All I ask is one simple thing. It's just one little tiny, teensy tiny thing. And all I ask for you guys to do is to hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. It takes how many muscles, how many calories do you burn? Just picking up your finger and just hitting that red button and crushing that subscribe button. Not much, not many calories, doesn't exert a lot of energy. It's that simple. Crush that subscribe button if you're the first time watcher of this show. Please hit that like button, okay? Like I said, I work hard out here in these streets. Again, I work hard out here in these streets. Bruh, help a man out. Please.
How do you spell
I ain't talking
that?
to you, T. I didn't even introduce you, bruh. Why you jumping in? I'm just playing. T's in the house. T's in the house. What up, man?
What's up, everybody? Good morning, Pascal. Good morning, fam.
What's up, man? It's
almost Juneteenth, so I know the energy is already bubbling up right now. So
yeah.
it's going to pop off this weekend. Cookouts, barbecues, Soul Train line. You know what I'm saying?
It's electric.
All your different
Boogie. You know what I'm
apparel.
saying? We're going all the way back. We're going to go all the way back. Not the, 2 hops 2 times. You know what I'm saying? No. We're going all the way back. You know what I'm saying? We're going all the way back.
Electric
all right?
Slide.
Yes, we're going to electric slide.
Electric slide.
It's electric. Right. Boogie. Hey, and the uncle's doing this, holding his stomach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's the bop.
He got the bop going on.
Got the bop going on. You got the washing machine going
Facts. Hell yeah, man. You got it all going on. And then, he's wearing his high waist pants, his belt's all the way up to his chest. You feel me? You know what I mean? But he's feeling fly as hell. He's like, I'm going to get laid tonight. I'll at least come out with a couple numbers. Maybe not all 7, but I'll get some of these numbers. Let's go. Okay? So, we got some good things to talk about. And of course, there's a lot of people that might not know what the heck Juneteenth is and all that. So, I do have a little video clip to explain, to talk about what is actually going on, why a lot of people in the culture are very excited about this particular situation. Okay? And why this is a long time coming, okay? And of course, I am going to be opening up the phone lines to talk about this, of course, because I know that some people oppose this idea, are kind of against this idea. I'm going to say this right now. I don't agree with y'all, but at the same time, hey, to each their own. You know what I'm saying? Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. You feel me?
One day.
Hey, welcome to our world. We live in a polarizing world. Some people just want to disagree, and that's okay. It's okay. That's your opinion. I don't have to agree with you all the time. You don't have to agree with me all the time, okay? But as I was saying before, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button, okay? And the other thing I was going to say is, real quick, I got to put this in solo dolo mode. Please go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Please go over there and crush that subscribe button over there as well if you haven't done that yet. That would be really appreciated. Like I said, I'm starting to put a lot of clips over there from the show, the morning show and the evening show over on the secondary channel. So please be sure to go over there and hit that subscribe button over there as well. Support this show. One last thing I want to say. One last thing. I know there's a lot of things. There's a lot going on. Hit the join button. $4.99 helps me fuel this channel so I can give you your stories of the day. And one last thing. Please share. Please share. Share amongst your people. Tell people about this show. Okay? We try to keep it positive. We try to keep it fun. You know what I'm saying? So please, share. All right? So, of course, we got to jump into this story that is happening right now as we speak. We're going to do a little bit of a breakdown, explain a little bit to y'all so that you guys can understand like a little bit of what's going on. They have just passed a bill acknowledging or making Juneteenth an actual holiday. Now, it's all up to Biden to get back home from his meeting with Putin to actually break this mother lover down and sign a bill saying, yes, we are making it a national holiday. All right. I got a little bit of a news video clip that explains everything a little bit, shows a little bit of, or tells you a little bit of the explanation of what Juneteenth is. I figured they said it fairly damn well. I'm going to let them say what they need to say. So let's take a listen, shall we?
June 19th, Juneteenth. The holiday commemorates 250,000 slaves in Galveston, Texas, being informed on June 19, 1865, that the Civil War was over and slaves were free, more than 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. 155 years after Galveston,
the bill is passed.
Juneteenth is on the precipice of becoming a federally recognized holiday.
Yes.
The U.S. House Wednesday, following the Senate's bipartisan approval of the bill. It now heads to President Biden on the same day that Hawaii becomes the 49th state to recognize the holiday in some way. South Dakota now the sole holdout. Many American companies already observing Juneteenth as a paid holiday, including Nike, Target, and Best Buy.
Hold on real quick. Something that just popped in my head when I saw this, or question that just popped in my head now when I heard this. Okay, so Hawaii is the Hawaii is the 49th state to acknowledge Juneteenth in some sort of way. So who's the one that's holding out? What state is holding out? That's what I'd like to know. 49th state, right? So that's almost all the states. So what state? I'd like to know. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Could somebody look that up for me?
Yeah.
While I roll this? Thank you.
Time like the present, and I think for everyone who has internet access, you should Google Juneteenth. There's great resources available to people to learn about this holiday. Again, when the last enslaved Black folks in Texas learned that they have been emancipated.
Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist joining Governor Gretchen Whitmer Wednesday for a virtual Juneteenth celebration.
Celebrating Black women and freedom.
What does Juneteenth mean to you?
Juneteenth is really an amazing holiday. And I think about it, I learned about it as a kid when my grandma was a social studies teacher in Detroit. And so she taught me about it when I was very young. It represents so many things. So it's about the end of enslavement, not because a law passed, but because the last enslaved Black folks learned about their freedom. That just represents so much to me as a person who loves information. It says that it's important not only for something to be true, but for people to know it.
That early education and knowledge could be in jeopardy for students in the very place that prompted the holiday, Texas. Governor Greg Abbott signing a law Wednesday banning the public school system from using critical race theory in its curriculum, which teaches that America is historically and systemically racist. And
Here, really quick, I find it very interesting that we live in a world where Juneteenth could become, it's on its way to becoming a holiday, yet we are still arguing about critical race theory in schools. We are having people running bills like, we have DeSantis who just basically signed a bill kicking out all critical race theory throughout the entire state of Florida. Like, it's really interesting. Just the whole situation is very interesting. We got Juneteenth. It's becoming a national holiday, full on. It's on its way. He just has to put his John Hancock on that bill, signing it, signed, sealed, delivered. It'll be a national holiday. But we still have people out here arguing, throwing out bills, trying to stop CRT. Very strange to me. Let's continue. We got, 20 seconds of this left? Let's go.
President Biden is expected to sign the federal holiday into law. Meanwhile, Metro Detroit is honoring Juneteenth on multiple days in multiple ways, including multiple events at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. For 7 Action News.
So, they're doing everything they can from what he's saying from certain places. Excuse me. Certain places are doing everything they can to push and celebrate this historical moment, this historical moment in time, Juneteenth. And it's very interesting. It's just a very interesting situation, y'all. But like I said, it's a weird Twilight Zone-y type of thing where we are acknowledging Juneteenth, and yet, critical race theory is still a huge problem. Now, I know that people have a problem with critical race theory and all that, and I'm not going to get into that conversation right now. I've had that conversation multiple times on this show, and we are going to not talk about that today, but I'm just saying that I just find it very interesting, right? But
Always,
right? So, T, what are your thoughts on this, man? I think this is, to me, all I got to say is, okay, I'm going to say this really quick. If Biden comes back to the White House and does not sign this, he will have major problems. He will have major problems.
Major problems.
If he wants to be reelected, and if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Right, that nonsense.
You're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a huge problem, especially after with Hunter Biden throwing out the N-word at his lawyer during a crack binge and all that stuff. I mean, that's a whole other Charles Dickens story in itself. But at the same time, this would be a very bad look for him if he does not sign this bill. I believe that he will sign the bill. It'll probably be the first thing he does as soon as he walks out of his bathroom. You know what I'm saying? After his morning-ish. You feel me? After his coffee and his morning-ish, he'll be like, okay, what do I got to sign today? And then he signs it, and it'll be fine. So, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, to backtrack, South Dakota was the only state that does not recognize Juneteenth. And Hawaii was the most recent one to sign. So, overall, I mean, Juneteenth, I mean, it's been, I guess, in different parts of the USA, celebrated, amongst different communities, but it getting national recognition it's about time, I would say. It's been way too long to have this on a back burner. And you would think that Obama would have pushed that, while he was in office, but somehow it was not done. But now it's on Biden's lap to have this signed and approved, and it shouldn't be anything that's controversial. It should just, it's definitely something like what happened then was the controversy for these slaves in Texas and Galveston to not get their proper, notice on time that you're actually free.
Right.
That was controversy. You know what I'm saying? Or controversial. So for someone to complain about the holiday being controversial, you're ignoring the whole fact of what happened to even make this possible. So, it's one of those things where people have to look at the whole scope of this, and don't feel anything about it that's like an agenda, but just understand that this is a celebratory day for people who want to have a good time, present day, honoring people from the past. Simple as that, and there shouldn't be anything about it that makes people want to protest against it. I don't understand that part.
See, this is the other thing, too, because there's a lot of people out here. Oh, my Lord. I'm sorry. We have to stop real quick. Chris CCC is in the house. Good morning, sweetheart. We missed you, girl. I'm just going to say that. I'm so happy to see your energy in the room. I'm just saying that really quick. We missed you, girl. Welcome back. I'm glad to see your smiling words. All right, and your energy. Welcome back, girl. Hopefully your vacation or whatever you did was very, very kind to you. But anyway, let's get into this here really quick, okay? And say hello to Chris CCC, everybody. Say hi. Give her some love. She deserves it. Anyway, what I was trying to say is you got to remember there are so many other holidays that we have. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we're celebrating St. Patty's Day. You know what I'm saying? We got Cinco de Mayo. We got 4th of July. We got all these other, we got Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. We got all these holidays that we celebrate, right? And some of them are kind of ridiculous if you really think about it. St. Patty's Day is just like, it's not like you're sitting there going, oh, we're out to celebrate. Like St. Patty's Day is not a, whatever it used to be, whatever it was used to celebrate for, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're not celebrating it like that anymore. It's just green beer, car bombs, shots, a lot of Jameson, and and a lot of late night mistakes. That's literally what it is. It's just binge drinking. That's all it is. They have same thing with Mardi Gras.
Buses. They have like school buses in my neighborhood, or like around Philadelphia, that typically go down the whole strip of bars and taverns. Yeah. And it just dropping people off at every bar for a whole day. So, I mean, I don't know how much of that is historical, but it's definitely different now.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, hey, man, hey, let's. It's about, it's about damn time, and it's something that it's a meaningful holiday, and God knows what will happen in 200 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, Juneteenth turns into the biggest drinking holiday in the world. But, maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, for right now, it is a holiday, or it is a moment in history that should get its recognition that it deserves. Not just some party that happens on the side. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You feel me? Like it's not like it. That's what it's basically been. It's been the redheaded stepchild off on the side. It's been that illegitimate child that we're like, oh yeah, It's Juneteenth, or it was 2 weeks ago. Oh, I didn't know about that. Oh, damn. Moving on. That's when the last group of slaves found out they were emancipated. Oh, cool. Gone. See what I'm saying? 4th of July, everybody. Woo! America. Pew, 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 pew. You know what I'm saying? And then we just move on to the next thing. And then they go, okay, next Juneteenth. I'm going to remember that, guys. I'm going to remember it. I'm going to remember it, Juneteenth. And then Juneteenth comes back around and like, oh, I missed it again. Oh, damn. What is it again? What was it for? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's great, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, God is good. Won't he do it? Moving on. Pew, 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 4th of July. You know what I mean? America. That's exactly what happens every single year for a majority of people. This is something that should be acknowledged. Because look at how amazing, even though we have a lot of problems, look how amazing this country has become to a certain extent. Okay? You know, let's be real. As far as we know, you know, there isn't full-on public lynchings anymore.
Oh, thank God.
People aren't getting shot and killed. People are getting shot and killed. But you see what I'm saying? It's not like what it was hundreds of years ago. 1865, for crying out loud. People running and scared for their lives, trying to dodge men in white hoods, trying to catch them an N-word. You know what I'm saying? We live in a different time. Even though we have a lot to do, we have made progress, some progress. And this is a moment in time that should be acknowledged. Now, I am going to be opening up the phone lines. Okay.
I'm just reading that Trump said he made Juneteenth holiday popular.
Who said that?
Trump, but that was like.
Oh, I thought somebody said it in a comment. I'm like, who said that?
Oh no, you know how Trump is. He has to brag about everything.
He got to brag about everything because he cares. I care about black people. I care about them. I'm the least racist person. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. And just like my accent is that my impersonation of him is just as terrible as his lies. Anyway. I'm going to open up the phone lines, 314-766-4581. I know I saw DOA say he was not, he wasn't feeling the idea of it becoming a holiday. I want to hear your thoughts on that, man. Please give us a call, 314-766-4581. What are your thoughts on this whole news, Are you excited about this news? Are you not? Phone lines are open. Your opinions do matter. 314-766-4581, or at least they matter on this show. Okay? I don't know about other people's show, but you're opposing or, you're opposing opinions or opinions that are with us, that go along with ours, are always important to us on this show. So do not be shy. Pick up that phone. Give us a call, 314-766-4581. We got a phone call already. Let's go. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Noli. I'm calling from the rainforest.
This is Noli, you said?
Yep.
Noli, hey, how you doing? She's calling from the rainforest. Sounds like it. Speak on it, girl. How you doing, sweetheart? Speak on it.
I'm good. I'm sorry. This isn't enough. A holiday to shut people up. That's what this is.
Wait, I'm sorry.
It's not enough. Are they going to start teaching about this shit in grade schools and stuff? Because, as far as I know, my daughter, my youngest, who's in high school, still ain't learning about this shit. She's learning about it from me. But, we're not educating the kids about anything that's actually fact as far as history goes.
Right.
It's just, here's some dates and here's some famous people's names, but we're not going to tell you why they did what they did or what this means to you today. We're going to go ahead and whitewash all this other information about what we did to the natives and to the slaves and to women and to millions of innocent fucking people. We're going to keep that all under the rug. So woohoo, a holiday that all the government officials are going to get off but most people are going to have to work through. I just don't see how this is enough. It's not helping anybody. It's not telling, not just our own people in this country, but people outside of this country, the fucking bloody ugly truth about this place and the past that we have.
You have a very strong point, Noli. You have a very strong point. Absolutely. This is not a thing where we could just sit there and sit back and go, okay, finally we got this, so we're good now. No. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We've only just begun. Okay? This is only the beginning. So I do believe you're absolutely right. They need to start bringing this type of education or this kind of knowledge into the classrooms as well. But that also steps into the realm of the CRT type stuff. And not trying to get into that conversation right now, but I do agree with you 100%. Absolutely. Just because we're getting this, and hopefully, like I said, praying to the great almighty gods that Biden walks out of his bathroom, goes right into that office, signs that thing, and pushes that bill and makes it a holiday. But you are absolutely right. It's only giving government officials days off while people, hardworking Americans, are still out here working hard in these streets. So I'm with you 110%. And still, to this day, it's going to be one of those things where people are going to still wonder, what the hell is Juneteenth? If we're going to make it a national holiday, if we're going to make it a holiday, then they need to start bringing that knowledge into classes, period. So that the students and kids know exactly what we're talking about. Noli, go ahead. What were you saying?
They just need to bring the truth into the classrooms. They need to stop with the bullshit and the lies. And I mean, I think my area finally got rid of the textbooks that teach about Christopher Columbus and that whole
mockery
bunch of crap. Just, oh my God, why? Oh, I learned the truth from my grandfather, and I got thrown in in-house suspension over and over and over again because I would argue with my history teachers about what really went down and what this or that was about, like the midnight ride and how that went down. It's not even, like, how dare you teach my kids a bunch of bullshit? And all this other stuff that is so important and so, like, we need to know this shit because if we don't, we're going to repeat ourselves.
Absolutely.
Every nation has.
Absolutely. I'm with you with
I'm
you on this.
I'm really, like, raw about this.
No, it's okay. I see that. I love it, though. But that's what we need, more people like you, Noli, out here.
Passion.
Yeah, that passion. We need other people out here that are wide awake. And I'm not trying to say, like, woke. No, just aware. And know what's going on and being like, yo, okay, this is great. Like, this is good news, but there's still a lot to do. There's still a lot of work left. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the heavy lifting ain't over yet. It is not over yet. It's time to start putting in the work. And this is just a small step towards something, right?
Yes, so please go to your congressional hearings in your area and speak loudly to your congressman. Loudly, be loud as fuck. Get arrested, please. Do it. I will bail you out.
She got the money, y'all. Trust me, she got the monies. She got them bags, y'all. Okay. But Noli, thank you so much for the phone call. I appreciate your opinion. Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, she ain't wrong.
Good point.
She ain't wrong. She ain't wrong. Okay, what she said, she ain't wrong. Real quick, Chuck Diesel said, shout out to Chuck. What's up, man? Good morning. He says, it is factually inaccurate to say that this is the actual end of slavery. There were over 266,000 people still in captivity after June 19th and until December 6th of the same year, 1865. So that's very interesting, too. Now, sure. That's excuse me. Excuse me. Woo. That's good information to know. But at the same time, I can sit here and say this too. I hate to say it like this, but we celebrate Christmas, right? On December 25th. Allegedly, Jesus Christ, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, right? Allegedly, Jesus Christ wasn't even born. Excuse me. On December 25th. But we are celebrating it on that particular day. I'm just saying there's certain days or certain things. Yes, I get it, that the general public has made an agreement to say X, Y, and Z is going to be, we're going to celebrate this person's birth, or we're going to celebrate this particular day. So I'm sure that there's some things like, okay, we're going to choke it up to June 19th or pick a particular date in a month where there's not all these other holidays going on. Because, I mean, really, if you think about it, June doesn't really have any holidays. If you really think about it.
Not a lot.
No. So, I could see that happening. I can see them going, hey, let's choke it up. Yeah, we understand it's this day, but really, carry the one, divisible by 2, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, we got Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Father's Day, yes, but I'm just saying, like, there's no, like, huge, like, 4th of July. You know what I mean?
Flag Day. That's it.
And Flag Day. You know what I'm saying? You got 4th of July. Hold on. We got a phone call. Or I think I lost it. Dang. Okay, another one. Hello? You on the mic with the Pascal Show? What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh, shoot.
Hey, it's Brian.
Oh, hold on, Brian. I'm gonna call me back. I hit the buttons twice. I'm sorry. Call back. I just got this other phone call. Do you mind calling back again, Brian?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay. You're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello, Pascal and Mr. T. It's Zozo Bob.
Zozo Bob, what's up, man? Good morning. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
Okay, I just wrote down a couple of things that I want to talk about.
Please, he took notes. Holiday. He took notes, everybody. He took notes. This is that kind of show. Thank you. Speak on it, baby.
Okay. Well, no, seriously. This brings awareness to something that happened in Texas, obviously, supposedly the end of slavery. Some people are saying, oh, my God, well, it shouldn't be in June. It should be when it actually happened in December. I'll tell you what. Between Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, and New Year's, it's enough. We have no holidays in June. Let's make it a June holiday. Juneteenth is a great sounding name for a holiday. I don't know if anybody agrees with that.
Oh, I agree. I was just letting you say your point. I was giving you your platform. Continue, please.
And then it's like there's people who are saying, why do we have to celebrate this? It'll be a federal holiday. We don't have any federal holidays in June. So that's a plus.
True.
And then people are saying, well, if Biden was going to sign this. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to sign this. And then I'm also a member of like some conservative website and some forums, and you would not believe the amount of crap they're talking about this. They're saying like, what do black people want? We have to give them another holiday. We gave them MLK. I'm like, like it blows my mind.
You're talking about Tucker Carlson.
People think.
You're talking about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson.
No. I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like conservative forums, websites. Not even that kind of stuff. But it's like the white racist people in this country are freaking out, thinking that somehow that giving black people a holiday or something to celebrate about commemorating a horrible act of slavery in this country is somehow like we're giving them reparations. That's how some of them are framing the whole conversation. And I'm like, where do these people come from? Seriously, where in their minds do they think that this is some kind of equation to what's happened? I just don't get it, how they think that way. It just blows my mind. But anyways, I'm for Juneteenth. My birthday's next week. Born in June.
Your birthday's next week?
Yes.
When?
Happy birthday.
June 21st, first day of summer.
Right on, man. Happy birthday. My birthday's
Hey,
next week
birthday.
as well. So we're in the same week. We're going to have a hell of a week next week.
Oh,
we're going to have a
you're
birthday
a
week.
Cancer?
I'm a Cancer, yes.
Oh, no wonder I like you. we Cancers are good people.
Yes, we are. And we can sure as hell
Yeah.
cook. Can you cook? Bruh, can you cook?
Yes, I'm a.
Facts.
I used to be a chef.
Me too. Come on now.
There you go.
Yay. Come on now. I love that, though. I love that. I love that. Okay. Cancers unite all day.
Man.
Thank you so much for the phone call,
Cancers
man.
unite. Take care, man.
You stay up, brother.
All right.
Peace.
Okay.
Peace out.
You know, and Brion, the phone lines are open. I'm so sorry. I accidentally hit both phone calls at the same time, and that was my mistake. So, Brion, if you're still watching, please call back in. I would love to hear your voice on this particular topic, please. Okay, so call in. And the phone lines are still open. This might be Brion right here in all of her glory. Yes, Brion, you're on the mic. Good morning.
Hey.
Sorry
Good
about that.
morning.
By
How's
the way,
everybody doing?
hey, we
Hey, how's
good.
it
We
going?
living. We
What's up?
good. I'm sorry again. I hit the wrong button, and I hit two buttons at the same time. I'm sorry, Brion. That was not intentional. But what are your thoughts on this whole Juneteenth becoming a national holiday?
Well, I mean, I think the recognition is great. I think that it's a start. You know, it's a small step, but you know, I agree with what's been happening in the chat. I agree with Noli. We have to do more. I mean, we got Juneteenth declared as a holiday at my job last year, where we were allowed to use one of our floating holidays. But then this year, it was made an actual holiday, so we'll actually have off this Friday in honor of Juneteenth as a paid holiday. And so for me, I think it's one small step. You know, I live in Minnesota, as most people know, but I wanted to say that there have been Juneteenth celebrations up here since, I mean, I can remember. I mean, I was young when I went to my first Juneteenth celebration up here in Minnesota, and that's far from Texas. And so there are several points I want to make. First, I know people, you know, are feeling some kind of way about Juneteenth and it being the government and it being the federal government recognizing it. But remember, Juneteenth was first celebrated by Black people. It was a holiday or it was a day that Black people paid remembrance to the day that the last individuals were told in the United States that they were free. Now, I understand what Chuck Diesel is saying, that
Right.
December 6th, 1865 is the day that slavery officially ended. You know, that was the day that the 13th Amendment was ratified. But my whole point even then is that, well, then could we still argue that people are free? Because the moment that the 13th Amendment was ratified was the moment that, you know, chain gangs ramped up, the moment that Black bodies were incarcerated in order to continue to fulfill free labor. So if we want to sit here and say that, then we could argue that to this day, there are people still not free. And then really, should we have an official holiday? All I'm saying is that I think it's really about time that we pay respect to a celebratory state that was actually initiated by Black people. You know, this is not something that white politicians are telling us is our day. It's not something that any other community of color is telling our day. It isn't what politicians are telling us. It's our day. It's a day where Black people celebrated it first. And I think that, therefore, for me, it's a small step in the right direction to honor what Black people were already honoring for their ancestors.
You know, and making it more of a, I hate to say it like that, you know, I think this is the only time, one of the only times that something like this that was celebrated by Black people could be more mainstream, so that more people actually acknowledge it, see it, know it, and have that knowledge of the history of what's going on. And yes, it's not entirely accurate, but they could get the accurate information in classes, in school, from their friends when they're going, hey, why are you taking tomorrow? Like, for example, you're taking tomorrow off, correct, Brion? Hello?
Yes.
So
I'm still here.
Yeah,
Sorry
so
about that.
you're good. You're taking tomorrow off, correct?
Yeah, well, tomorrow is off, period. I'm
Right.
not an essential worker, so, yeah.
Right. So you're taking, but
But
you
I
are.
took it off last year too. So
Say that again. I'm sorry. What?
I took it off last year too.
Oh, word.
And
No, but
I've
I'm just
always
saying.
But
I'm saying what I'm trying to say is imagine people being able to celebrate it in a much bigger way. You see what I'm saying? Instead of it being like I'm taking a personal day off, I'm using my personal time, my PTO, right, to take this particular day off in remembrance and to honor this particular day. Now it could possibly be a day that we can all take off and honor this. And hopefully it's an opportunity for kids to understand, what is this? Just like you go, why are we shooting off fireworks on 4th of July? Well, honey, it's because of X, Y, and Z, right? Now this is the same thing. Now and I have another question to pose to the fam here in a second. But when this becomes a national holiday, right? This is an opportunity for children to go, what is this? Like, why are we celebrating Juneteenth? Like, even my white friends are out of school today, or not out of school, but even my white friends' parents are taking the day off, and we're out here grilling. Why? Why is this happening? Oh, because of this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? So this is a great way for majority of the country to honor such a monumental moment in time. And like I said, it is the only time I think that white culture can appropriate. I'm sorry, they can actually take it over and understand it, but actually understand it. Just like we go and pop off fireworks and go America, hey, Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm
saying? I'm just hoping that it's not watered down. Like, eventually,
that's what I'm worried about too.
That, like, the core of this holiday can be celebrated in a respectful manner by everybody. And if you don't want to partake in it, just don't. But hopefully we can see this growing every year to be something positive,
right,
and something major. And hopefully it can help communities really come together and grow, and put down the gun violence and put down the drugs. Like, we can just get to like the unity thing again. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I would also add that, if we're going to avoid appropriation, then I would encourage anyone who says that they're an ally, anyone who's also Black, only support, Black celebrations, only support the businesses that are, giving to the cause of celebrating Juneteenth. Don't go to the cookout with, your all white friends who are saying, okay, we're going to honor Juneteenth, but then you don't see one Black body there or one Black body helping to plan it. I think that if you don't want appropriation to happen, then you need to find the celebrations that are being thrown by Black organizations, being thrown by your Black friends. Like, that's how we can keep learning, because you're right. If it's just appropriate, or for this day for someone to say, oh, I just got another day off, then we're not going to go far. This is kind of also where to speak to something that Noli said, even in the chat, and she said it in her call, like, basically what's next. Just like, my union and our workers fought for Juneteenth where I work, I think that workers need to speak up, especially Black workers. They need to demand of their employers that, look, Juneteenth is recognized as a federal holiday. We have off and I'm not working. Like, this is a cultural holiday, and I would advocate people to put foot to the fire and learn the law and learn how their cultural celebrations are protected if this does become federally recognized.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with you 110% on that all day, Breon. And so I really do appreciate you calling in and dropping some knowledge bombs on this show. As always, what else is new?
As always.
What else is new?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I will see you tomorrow. Yes. I will join you all tomorrow morning.
Oh, right on.
And I hope you all have a good day.
All right, you too, sweetheart.
Yes, you as well.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
We got another phone call, I think, unless I lost it. You're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pascal, what's going on, brother? It's Chuck Diesel calling from D.C.
Chuck Diesel, what's up, man? Wow, good voice. Good voice, man. It's nice to hear your voice.
Thanks.
How you doing, bruh? What's on your mind?
Man.
Speak on it.
Hey, I'm good, man. Just thinking about how it's not only just factually incorrect, right?
Right.
I'm thinking about, is there any other race of people that would allow their so-called Independence Day to be celebrated a day prior or a month after, or, you know, if it wasn't the date of the actual independence? Like, we're not going to celebrate the Independence Day, Declaration of Independence on July 3rd. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
I just think that, you know, the narrative is being created by other people, you know, when it comes to, you know, our independence. And I think it does a disservice to the 266,000 plus people that were still in captivity.
Right.
If we say, okay, June 19th is the official end of slavery. Okay, cool. It's being recognized by our government. But this is the same government that has misled us on many things. So I think that is, you know, unfair to those that were still in captivity.
I see what you're saying.
You know, now I'm not saying. My thing is, I don't have an issue with. Okay, let's say June 19th is the day that we celebrate Juneteenth. You know what I mean? But
Facts.
It's not the actual ending of slavery.
Right.
I think that needs to be clear.
Now,
and we're at a point right now where the powers that be are trying to do everything and you know, everything they can to nullify, you know, anything that has to do with teaching actual you know, history of our people.
You know, Chuck, I'll say this. I'm with you 110%. Absolutely. I feel like it's a situation where maybe it's an acknowledgement, but also at the same time, there's education on the actual facts. But we use this day to celebrate. It's like our own Independence Day, if you really think about it. So if you really think about it, maybe that's the reason why they chose Juneteenth as a day, because maybe they wanted it to be closer to 4th of July, summertime, so that we could have our own time popping off fireworks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that that's the best choice in the world, but I could see that. Just like when we look at something like Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc., those days did not actually happen on those specific days. Factually, those moments did not actually happen on those days. So when it comes to this, at least we have a holiday that we can acknowledge it, like you just said, so that we can also educate and give the factual pieces. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like, okay, on this very day, this actually happened. It's like, no, on June 19th, I'm talking about, is the actual day. It's like, no, correction, it wasn't the actual day. The actual day was this day. But we celebrated on this day because that's what, I don't know how it became the general consensus of, okay, we're going to use this day as, Juneteenth. But at least it turns into a platform to start that learning lesson for not only just us, not only just the adults, but also for the children, so that they at least can keep moving on and learning that history and knowing about that history. Just like we're starting to acknowledge the Tulsa massacre, where we went down there, celebrated its 100th year or just a few weeks ago. Like, these are things that were not taught in school, and now we are finally starting to bring those stories to light, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like as we start to progress, yes, we don't have it perfect. Yes, Juneteenth isn't actually the day, but it still is a platform for children to learn this stuff. And people who are not knowledgeable of Juneteenth can actually start getting the knowledge too.
So, all right,
and
I'll tell you why.
Thing, Pascal.
Go ahead, Chuck.
And
what do you say?
Not to cut you off.
No.
Not to cut you off. But that's what I don't want. It's a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong. That's the misconception a lot of people have. Oh, I don't know something, so I'm just going to fake it until I make it. Like, let's not take that approach either.
Word.
If you don't know something, there's nothing wrong with not knowing.
Right.
It's all about enlightening yourself and expanding your mind and learning.
Right.
That's the only way we're going to be able to progress out here. As a people. So my thing is, I don't want the lines to be blurred, because we're at a moment in history where they're trying to do everything in their power to silence that history. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that aren't privy to that information that probably won't if they are successful in, putting that veil over America's original sin. Then they, a lot of people won't know the actual date of. So that's why it's very important that the lines aren't blurred, and we know that June 19th is not the actual day of, the actual day that slavery ended.
Yeah,
that's one of my points.
No,
Yeah,
and go ahead, T. Go ahead, please.
I was going to just clarify all this. So, June 19th was the day that Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, with a letter proclaiming slavery was over. So that was the day that the letter arrived in Texas. And then,
that's correct.
2 years after,
right?
By the way,
2.5 years. And then in 1979, Texas was the first state to recognize Juneteenth or Jubilee Day as being a state holiday. So that date is significant, but like Chuck D said, it's not the official last day of slaves being free.
Yes.
Right, because think about the people that were still in bondage, in captivity, in Kentucky and in Delaware after June 19th.
Facts.
See what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you.
That's what a lot of people, and as long as that's my thing. As long as people know, this gives us the opportunity to be able to, have a discussion about this and enlighten others that don't know. That's one good thing about this. But I don't want people to look at it as, okay, this is a great day. We were all, our ancestors were freed from bondage on this day. That's a misconception, and I don't want that to be, spread throughout the masses that that's what actually happened. That's why I have an issue with Juneteenth.
I see what you're saying.
And if you look at something else, like, and it's a celebration in the sense of, okay, these people were released from bondage, right? But if you look at, the day that the Jews were released, the Holocaust ended, Jews recognize that day as, they kind of look at it as a somber day because, okay, this is the day that this ended, but look at what we went through.
Right.
I just can't see myself, okay, let's fire up the grill. Let's have a few cold beers because, we got out of this bondage. Like, I'm just looking at it from a different standpoint,
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a pessimistic standpoint, but it's a realistic standpoint. A lot of blood was shed. A lot of lives were lost.
That's very true.
And the effects of slavery are still in effect right now to this day.
Facts.
The police, their roots are in the slave patrols. The slave patrols. I posted in the Discord yesterday. That's actual. That's a factual thing. That's not an opinion. So, this gives us the opportunity to really have a discussion, but I just don't want the lines to be blurred as far as what this actually means,
Yeah. No, and I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Chuck. And I hear you 110%. Of course, if there's a way to move the date to a little bit more of an accurate date, the only way we can do it is actually going out there and talking about it, right? And making it known.
Fact.
But at the same time, it is an opportunity, at least a step in the right direction. And I understand, people will sit there and remember, Auschwitz and, certain things that happened during the Holocaust and everything. And yes, it is a somber, very somber day. But I also see this as but there's also people that do celebrate Auschwitz, that time in Auschwitz, or the anniversary of Auschwitz, as a moment of vindication, of liberation. I see people that are celebrating life, not only to commemorate and remember the people that they lost, the families that were torn apart, etc. Because you can basically click and drag those same feelings and those same things that happened to those Jewish people in Holocaust. Those are the same things that happened in in America with slavery. Families were torn apart.
Absolutely.
People were brutally murdered, etc. I mean, the R word, etc. All this stuff, hangings, you name it, happened to black people just as well. There are going to be people that have, like, I feel like it is a moment of a celebration of life because we made it. We got through it. Yes, we have to commemorate. We have to remember. And I'm with that all day. You know, that moment of remorse, that moment of solitude, of course. But there's also a reminder that we still got through it and we still made it and we are still here. And we are resilient. We are a resilient race of people. And there's a reason to celebrate, too. There's a reason to pull out a barbecue and have a big-ass cookout and get a little, you know what I mean, do a little sidestep and do a little Cupid shuffle and stuff like that because we are still here. So there's also a time for celebration, too. There's a time to remorse. There's a time to commemorate. But there's also a time to celebrate life because we still here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Chuck, thank you so much for the phone call, Chuck. I really do appreciate it, man. You dropped some serious
All
knowledge.
right.
I appreciate it,
Take care, brother.
You too, man.
Thanks, bro.
Peace.
All right.
Chuck Diesel. My man, Chuck Diesel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He got a good voice. You got to do some radio or something, man. You got a good voice. But yes, I'm with him 110% on what he's saying. Absolutely. I'm with him 100%. I just wish we could find I wish we could go. Actually, factually, that's not right. Can we put it over here? Can we move the date to a different time? But unfortunately, it looks like June 19th is going to be the day that it is the day that we have been celebrating Juneteenth, or this moment in time. So it just sucks, you know. But at the same time, it's still an opportunity to educate. Go ahead, T.
No, it's the 6-month pre-party until December 18th. So let's do it twice. That's all.
Yeah, man. But that's the problem. Then it gets sucked up into holiday time. Because then it's Christmas. You feel me?
Yeah,
so it's kind of like, blah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs its time. It needs its moment in the sun. You feel me? So in a way, I understand why it's over in June. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, they could throw it in the middle of August, for crying out loud. It don't matter. But at the same time, like, you know. We got another phone call. Let's get this. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Rob in Anaheim.
Rob, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah.
So
pretty good, pretty good. Hey,
speak on it.
For the previous caller, I'm honestly kind of the same with the previous caller. He was saying he didn't really so much agree with this holiday 100%. I kind of do too, because he was saying the lines are getting blurred between, like, you know, the facts. But also something that's happening right now, mainly in like red states, is actually kind of rewriting the Civil War narrative, like everything. So I just kind of want to point that out. Like he said, he didn't want the history to be blurry. It's gonna be blurred.
I feel you.
Because they're already there's Texas, Arizona, Alabama. These states are actually rewriting their textbooks to make it more of a. They're trying to say that slavery was more necessary because of monetary reasons. Oh, it's weird, man.
Right.
Wow,
it's just overall messed up. It's just overall messed up.
I've heard this narrative, Rob. They're basically saying, like, the reason why this whole thing happened was a financial situation, where this is the reason why slavery was still something in the South. They kept it going because because of the labor and money and the financials, and instead of it being a war about freeing the slaves, it turned into a war about money. And so I know that is something that they're literally trying to they are literally trying to change the narrative about that in the history books. But the funny thing is if you're going to put that in there, see, like I said, I don't want to go into critical race theory and get into that conversation, because that's a whole other can of worms. But I find it very interesting that you're willing to change the narrative of that, but you can't talk about the narrative of the other pieces of history that did happen in America. That factually did happen. And, that's neither here nor there. But I see your point in regards to that as well. If they're going to change the narrative, right, in certain states, if they're going to change the narrative in these in these high school history books, etc., then they really need to reconsider. They need to look into it, and they need to start putting in the other facts that are going on in the world as well, or that have happened, like critical race theory, the things that happened in Tulsa, Juneteenth, etc. Those things need to be brought in there too, because if you're going to change the narrative there, you can bring this narrative in there as well. Then,
Yeah, I definitely agree. And the funny thing is this goes back to a conversation you had way back when what was her name?
Say that again, Rob. We lost you.
I forget her name.
Say that again, Rob. We lost you. What did you
friends
say?
with fucking Morse. Sorry.
Repeat that whole thing.
I said this kind of goes back. This whole conversation goes back to. I said this goes back to. Remember when the lady that was defending Piers Morgan for not being a racist, whatever, she kind of went off on what's her name? I'm sorry, I don't remember the lady's name. She went off on. It's called The Talk. Remember? I think it's called The Talk.
Oh! You talking about Meghan McCain?
No. The English version with the lady who was
Sharon Osbourne.
Sharon Osbourne, yes.
Yeah,
Sharon Osbourne, yeah.
So
sorry about that.
The point was, I'm sorry, I don't remember the black lady's name who was talking to her, but she was trying to have a normal conversation, right? And you saw the reaction.
Right.
So it's going to be the same thing with this. Like, people just don't want to have that conversation. That's all it is. It's going to be hard. It's going to be, if this holiday happens, whatever, you're going to have people angry on one side, like pissed off. It's going to be, I think it's going to be kind of a bad thing in some ways. You know what I mean? So people just don't want to give any power away, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they see it, as giving away some power, I think. That's how some of these folks see it.
Yeah.
They don't want to give away that power,
Yeah. No. But that's the thing. That's absolutely what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why CRT is becoming a huge issue right now. Because the people don't want to be, because certain people don't want to be reminded of the things, of the terrible things that certain people in their race have done. You see what I'm saying? Or had not done, right? Because there's plenty of opportunities where they could have stepped up and they did not. But at the same time, them are the breaks. That's what happened in our history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Rob, thank you so much for the phone call. I really do appreciate it, brother. You stay up, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, man. All right, peace. Yeah, man. I mean, he dropped some serious information in there too. I mean, who would have thought that they're trying to change history books in other states right now? We got another phone call. Let's get this. One last phone call. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name's Chris. I'm calling from Arizona.
Chris from Arizona. What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
I know exactly who you are, silly man. I know exactly who you are, silly man. I know this voice from anywhere. How you doing, my brother? By the way, everybody say hello to my good brother, Silly Man. His name is Chris, but he goes by Silly Man. And if you don't know about this guy, you need to check him out. This dude is absolutely hilarious. He's a comedian. He's from my city. He's from my hometown, but he lives out in Arizona. You need to go and check out this dude, Silly Man. Anyway, what's your thoughts on this, man? And thanks so much for watching and listening. Speak on it, bro.
Oh, man, I love this show. I tell you, I love this show. I love this topic. I think the biggest thing people need to realize, though, you're looking at our country through the wrong pair of glasses. So, like, I see a lot of questions of, well, how come they're erasing this part of history, or how come they don't do it like this? It's because we don't live in a country. We live in a corporation. The United States is a business. So we have to look at it as business moves. And when you're at, most of your job you work at is a scam. Everything is to keep the CEO his jet fuel. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is set up so that the CEO can take multi-million-dollar vacation, so that the people on top can stay on top. There's this old footage of Dave Chappelle that he says it's not like public or nothing, but it's a video online where he tells a bunch of people, he says, when I talk about white people, I'm not talking about the people like that's in the audience. I'm saying that when you make a certain amount of money, they pull back that curtain and they show you the real white people. It's like so when we're complaining about stuff like that, I think regular, normal living, good conscious white people get offended. Like, no, we're not talking about y'all. We're talking about the evil people that keep it to where we're all under the same umbrella. Like that's why other countries are made to look so horrible. When I grew up, being called an African was like the biggest insult you could be called. Like when we were roasting each other, like I didn't know African because we were taught. I didn't even hear the rhetoric that I could potentially be the ancestor of a king or queen until I became an adult. And by that point, it's too late. You don't move with a certain amount of pride. But that's because business-wise, I need to keep you down here. You know, business-wise, I need to keep you blinded to who you really were. I need to give you little crumbs and bits and pieces of who you are, so that you don't have that sense of pride. And I think as long as we look at that, as long as we look at every move that's being made, from the laws to, as long as we look at it from a business aspect and not from an emotional, like, oh, this is my country, why would they do that? Then you wouldn't get so upset. It's still wrong, but It's still like, okay, I get it. It's like it's a business move, and businesses the people on top want to stay on top.
Oh yeah.
That's you're dropping some serious knowledge there, man. T, what do you think on that?
I'm right aligned with his thoughts. I mean, America is one big business, and I always say that the media, and you got to think about who controls the media, who controls the music business, because the music, the media, everything is polarizing negatively, and it's all based off race. So like, all we're doing is being distracted by race and inequality. But the biggest inequality really is social economics. It's class, it's power, and there are barricades, and there are invisible, I guess you can say, laws that are in place that prevent people who don't quite fit in. So like, they can talk about, oh, you have LeBron James or Oprah, but those are anomalies in the system. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. The average person who looks like that, they have so many roadblocks from being born in the ghetto. They tell them, oh, just work harder. Like, it's not that simple just to work harder. Like, you're behind an 8 ball already. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
You have no resources to overcome that. And even if you do, you have to work in the corporate world or move to a neighborhood that doesn't want you in there and try to fit in and assimilate. So it's never a win-win. Okay. Even when you do make it, like, where can you fit in at? In America?
Can I say this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say this one last thing? I'm gonna go and let y'all get back to y'all.
Come on with it, bro.
I was partially raised by my granddad, right? And he served in World War II, and at one point he was on America's Most Wanted list because him and his friends went over to World War II. They went overseas, and they saw how much better they were being treated, I think, and some of them stayed. And because of that, they were put on this. My granddad had to change his last name, all kind of stuff, right? So what he taught me, he said the thing is, he said, to keep someone under control. So if you want to control a massive amount of people, you make them fight a fight that's not worth fighting. You make them spend years and years, and I'm mainly speaking to the point of the whole race thing. It's like, if we make these people fight over something that don't matter for hundreds of years, by the time they even get to what really matters, which is power, money, and, like you said, social class, stuff like that, we'll be hundreds of years ahead of you.
Too late, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that it's too late. So in a way, like you said, you have to take control of what you can control. Like things that are controlled by people that are in charge that don't have your best interest in mind will never have your best interest in mind. So we need our own media stuff. Outlets like this type of show, you're on YouTube, but you can speak free-ish. You know what I mean? So
right.
Like,
free-ish. Free-ish.
Because I know Pascal enough to know what he really want to say, and that's why I be watching. I be translating for him in my mind, but I get it.
Yeah.
But I love you, bro. Good show, dog. Like, I didn't even think I was gonna be able to get through.
Oh man, but, hey, I appreciate you calling in, and man, you my dude. You know what I mean? You my brother, man. So I rock with you all the time. I didn't know it was gonna be you. I swear. I don't have your phone number memorized or anything, but it's a nice surprise, hearing your voice on the show, man. Real talk. You know what I mean? So
it wouldn't matter if you memorized my number. It wouldn't matter if you memorized my number. I'm calling from a different phone. I'm too famous for it.
Oh, see, there it is.
I gotta go.
There it is, man. I appreciate you calling, bro. Yeah, that's his burner phone.
No problem, man.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon, man. Much love. Peace. But yeah, man. So that I mean, what he said is true too. You know what I mean? That is very, very true. There's a lot to consider. When it comes to all this, and like, okay, who, the powers that be that are moving and making this move happen. What are the real reasons? You know what I mean? What is really going on behind closed doors on why this is suddenly getting passed? How it finally got passed with ease, right? And then now it's going to be signed. Hopefully, unless he trips and falls somehow on his way from his bedroom to the office to sign this. It makes you wonder why. It makes you wonder. The motives behind it. But at the same time, I look at it as a opportunity for us to start educating, to finally really start pushing and educate our children, educate all of our children, by the way, all of them, so that they know what the hell is going on and why we are celebrating this day. And yes, I do agree, yes, it's not the right day, etc. But at the same time, it's still an opportunity to start dropping knowledge into our children's brains, especially a lot of them that are not getting this at school, and hopefully this does inspire history books to start getting updated with the truth, T.
That's politics right there, man. I mean, being in education, school districts really, it goes two ways. It's even going to be a budgetary thing where they're going to bring in the curriculum that best fits their budget. And these books sell for millions and millions of dollars for these school districts. They spend $2 million every budget hearing meeting happens every summer. So like let's say they want like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. That's been a couple of $1 million for that plan for 5 or 10 years to be implemented in our districts. Or what's happening now with the whole trending, I don't want to say woke, but like a lot of people are protesting to have a more inclusive history. And they may go that route, but at the same time, if the community that the school district is inside of, the taxpayers are not wanting that, they can halt that whole process.
Right.
The taxpayers really have the input, because their money is feeding the district. So if they're like the status quo, they're conservative, they want things to be the way they were, then things won't change, and they change very, very slowly.
Yeah.
But those areas that are more progressive and those areas that are more diverse, they are becoming a little bit more aware of what's being taught and what's not being taught, really. And they are trying to implement and bring in different manufacturers to bring in better curriculum that is inclusive, where you see yourself in the book as you read it. People who look like you, who celebrate, holidays and things that you actually do in your household that should fit in. But again, it comes down to budget, and it comes down to the taxpayers and what they want.
Okay, you know what? Here it is, though. Damn budget. Damn all that mess. Damn it. Damn it all. You know what I mean? Damn that to hell. You want to know why? We got something called Google.
Yeah.
We don't need books no more, okay? We got Google loves, okay? So when it comes to it, because I remember the only way I found out about Juneteenth was I heard it from my babysitter when I was a kid. I heard about it from my babysitter. That's how I heard about it, and that's where I got the knowledge about it. There was no Google at that time, and it definitely wasn't in the books. So now we got Google. Google, love, you Google it, and you just learn it now. It's at our fingertips, okay? And yeah, Google or Wikipedia, but you can't really trust Wikipedia for several reasons, because sometimes that stuff is fabricated. But moving on, you at least can go to Google and get the information that you need now, right? So you can educate yourself if you are ever so inquisitive. If you're an inquisitive human being and you want to search some ish, Google it, love. Google. So, and it's amazing. It's an absolutely amazing contraption. It's called the internet. So you just got to you got to sift through the BS, but you can find some really great stuff. So when it comes to even that, hey, we don't have to worry about no books. Damn that. We don't have to wait for budgets. We don't have to wait for them to give us a budget or for them to print it into a book and put it together. Kids aren't reading books no more. They're pulling out their Kindles or their iPads and they're reading this stuff and they're swiping right or left. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to this, if you really want the education, you look it up. You use that Google. You find it. Don't sit on your ass waiting for the budgets and the carry the one divisible by 2. F all that. Damn it all. You go and look it up for your damn self, ladies and gentlemen, my family. You go and use the internets. Exactly, Zozo Bob, the internets. Okay?
But even with Google, though, you have to be careful because the algorithms are weird. Somebody can Google something over and over again, and they're going to have this, like a similar content, advertisements, things that are going to be shaped towards that person's interest. So if I Google something, let's say slavery, versus somebody who's like a racist Google slavery, they may get like some pro-slavery points. Well, I get anti-slavery points. So it depends on really the person behind the screen because it calculates what you're doing. So if you're like far right wing and everything is like, anti-progressive, then you're going to get something different in that search bar than I will. So, I mean, even that is kind of like biased in a way.
Yeah. Well, real quick, before it goes away, Chuck Diesel, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really do appreciate it. He says we must support, shameless plug because he says some nice stuff about the show and that stuff, so I got to do it, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, hey, he paid us to say this out loud, okay? So he said we must support Brother Pascal and all the shows that encourage having an open dialogue about real life issues and can still find things to laugh about. Peace and love, fam. It's about balance. Figgity facts. Figgity facts, baby. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Yeah, we got to smile and laugh and all that stuff, too. Always. It's all about balance. But at the same time, my brothers and sisters and all my babies out there, please educate your children. Like I said, I only heard things through word of mouth when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, it's through word of mouth, so it's exaggerated, or there's little pieces of information that aren't entirely right. You know what I'm saying? But now we got this wonderful thing called the internet, where we can get the information. When we're talking about Tulsa, when we're talking about Juneteenth, when we're talking about MLK, when we're Junior, when we're talking about all these things, I was not that lucky as a kid. And I'm sure same thing with T and a lot of us black kids growing up. We just heard word of mouth. And a lot of times it would be something that they're saying in passing, and you're going, wait, hey, Unc, what's Juneteenth? Because you just don't know. But it only is the inquisitive children that are going to go out of their way to ask what the heck that is. A lot of times we'll hear Juneteenth. A lot of other kids who are not as inquisitive as me and maybe T will sit there and it'll just pass over their heads. They'll be like, yeah, Juneteenth. And they just keep moving. And they don't learn about it until they're much older in life. So that they don't know how to celebrate that properly. They don't know about the history. Like Tulsa. The Tulsa Massacre.
Yeah.
I had to ask about that when I was a child. Because it was something on the news. And then suddenly it was brought up somehow. And I was just like, what is this Juneteenth? And they made me look like a fool because I was like young, about 12, 13 years old. And they made me feel really stupid because I wasn't fully up to date on that side of black history. But they did tell me, and that's one thing that sucks. Because as soon as a child goes, hey, what's up, and you get ridiculed for it, it's terrible. The kid does not want to ask questions ever again. You see what I'm saying? So we live in this world now where these things are being acknowledged, and that rightfully so. Yes, it's not entirely accurate. Yes, it's not on the same date that it actually went down and all that, but this is also an opportunity to open up the teachable lesson highway for these other young children, white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, to learn about what the hell is going on and what happened in our country, and they can finally get the truth. So, with that being said, I really hope that Joe Biden, our president, number 46, wakes up, signs that thing, makes it a thing so that we can start learning. So our children, our children's children will always have this piece of history ingrained in their bodies. Now, one last thing I got to ask, and this is the last question I'm going to ask before we go, okay, because I got to sign off. And it's been an amazing conversation. But real talk, you know how like Christmas, you give out, Christmas gifts, Valentine's Day, you give your loved one, jewelry or chocolates or whatever, you know what I mean? It's the International Day of Love, right? St. Patty's Day, you get super drunk and drink a whole lot of Jameson and wear a lot of green. Mardi Gras, you know what I'm saying? You go out and you drink and you get crazy and you wear a whole bunch of crazy, ridiculous clothing, and then you wake up the next day covered in feathers and glitter and you go, how did I get here? That's a whole other conversation in itself. But my question for you is this. What will be the traditional way of properly celebrating Juneteenth? Once it becomes a national holiday, how are we going to really celebrate Juneteenth? Is it going to be like the National Cookout Day? Is it going to be the National Cupid Shuffle Day, where we all get together and do a flash mob of Cupid Shuffle? You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do? Is it the day that we only listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? I'm serious. You know what I mean? What is it? How are we going to properly, universally celebrate Juneteenth? Real talk. T, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I mean, there is African American clothing line called AACA, which is founded in the 1990s, and it celebrates African American colleges and heritage, and so like that clothing brand is always marketing the black, red, and green for Africa,
right?
As wearing clothes that represent African history. Although that's a broad thing because it's a continent, not a country, but it's trying to find something that you can connect to our motherland would be great, and maybe we all can wear different things from different countries that represent us as people. It'd also be a good thing to give out one of those DNA tests, to see where you come from originally. You know what I'm saying? So you can connect farther with your heritage. I'm saying, seriously,
Is it international? See, that's racist though. Now it's International Paternity Test Day. You are not the father. Yes, I knew it. That's messed up, man.
Ancestry test. You know what I'm talking about? The ancestry. You a fool, man. Imagine that.
Ancestry Day, though, absolutely. That's kind of dope.
Ancestry test. Honestly, most African Americans don't know where they come from. I mean, you're from Haiti, so that's different. You get, you're Black American, but African Americans who are just descendants from slaves really don't know where they come from. That's part of the plight of urban America because, not having that something to identify with, is instantly causes, insecurity and depression and hopelessness and other negative traits. So if you know where you come from, countrywide, you can definitely represent that country and have some pride in yourself. You won't be a lost people anymore. So that's my thinking.
You get pulled over. Excuse me, sir. It's Juneteenth Day. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Keep going. Keep going. You get a pass today. I get a pass? Bruh! Come on now. I would love that, please. That you get a, there you go. You get a pass from Popo. You feel me? Come on, man.
No jail day, right?
What is it again?
No going to jail day.
Yeah, International Get Out of Jail Free Day. You see what I'm saying? So if you get pulled over, they're like, no, sorry, sir. They walk up, sir. Do you know how? Sorry, sir. Keep going. Happy Juneteenth.
Good idea.
It's like, oh my God, Mama, I'm still alive. But still, think about it. How are we going to properly celebrate Juneteenth? What is going to be the universal fizzy thing? That's the question. Like I said, I'm just saying. Literally, I would be. I'm all down for all those options, okay, including the paternity test day too.
I didn't say that, man.
I'm just playing.
You gotta call Maury Povich, man.
Yeah, man. Maury Povich would be making money. He'd be making bank, okay, bags all day long. But think about it. You know what I'm saying? What is the proper way of doing it? So that we can all. It turns into that universal thing. We all do it. We all do our thing. Now, of course, I've seen people doing yearly events. You know what I mean? Every Juneteenth, they do some big party. They got bands that are playing, etc. Shout out to House of Soul, for example, here in St. Louis. They do one every single year. Do a big, huge Juneteenth celebration where they got bands lined up, food, music, liquor, the whole thing, and it's dope as hell. So I keep wondering, is it, will it, once this thing passes, what will next year look like? Will it be a thing that is something that happens downtown in your city where it's just a lit, dope, fun, what's the word? Remorseful, right? Honorable and jubilant celebration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wonder what we're gonna do, as time goes on. But this is a step in the right direction. And Noli and Chuck are not wrong in what they were saying. Real talk, they are not wrong. He has a point on the date and the facts. So we just have to make sure that those facts are constantly ingrained in us and in our children. Because really, yes, they can look it up in the books and look it up in the Googles and all that stuff as well. But at the same time, they're also going to be hearing these histories from our mouths too. We still do word of mouth. We still story tell to this day. That's how information is passed along, right? So we must honor that by still pouring these stories into our children's ears, planting those seeds into our children's ears. That's the only way that this Juneteenth of any sort is going to stay alive, period. Because if everything burns down, you know what I'm saying? History books and Google gets wiped clean. We still got our brains and we still got the stories that we're going to pass on to our children. That's how we can keep Juneteenth and other moments in Black history alive. All right. Anyway, it is time to get going, but I wanted to say really quick, a big thank you to Marta Selway for the $5 super chat. She said, "Is there a monthly subscription? That's what I'm looking for." Yes. Thank you. I'm going to go into solo dolo mode real quick. Yes, there is. I appreciate you looking that up. It is as simple as going down below the feed right now. Is underneath the screen? There's a little join button right there. You can go click that. It says join. You click that. $4.99 a month helps fuel this show, so that you can get your stories, your controversies, your pop culture, and conversations of the day. So please hit that join button down below. It's only $4.99. It's less than Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus. Y'all got them. So it's only $4.99, and it helps us keep this show moving. So please hit that join button. Please, please, please. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay, guys. Again, what a great show today. Man, was it a good... Man, this was a good-ass show. I want to say a big thank you to T for being on today. You know what I mean? Coming in and dropping some knowledge. Okay? Knowledge.
Very well.
I really do appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You dumb as hell, but, we roll with it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah.
After 12, maybe.
In your face. I'm just like, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. No, he's dumb. Don't listen to T. He don't know anything. He don't got no knowledge. He ain't a teacher. He ain't no educator. You know what I'm saying? He actually is a teacher. So anyway, so he's used to teaching. teaching the words, okay? But also, somebody else has said something. Also, real quick before we take off. Joe King, shout out to Joe King. He said, I don't understand why you don't have more viewers. Today, I don't know why today's a lower viewer day. Monday was on fire, right? But today was a little bit lower, but that's okay. The day goes like this. You know what I'm saying? It just, the week goes like this. Some days are high numbers, some days are low numbers, and it's okay. Because here's the thing, I'd rather have a real conversation with all y'all, with my real fam, than just a whole bunch of people on here throwing out hateful speech, calling in, saying hateful things. I ain't got time for it, and neither do you. So I'd rather have a real conversation with the people in the group that we got on today. So again, I appreciate all y'all for being on. My fam, to all the mods out there, real talk, real freaking talk. I appreciate all y'all. You guys are some amazing human beings, and I appreciate you combing through some of these comments through this week, because there has been some people that have been real asses in here. So I appreciate you coming in and doing what you're doing. Like I said, if you haven't done it yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and also to add on top of what Joe just asked, hey, another way you can get this word out here is if you share this feed. So please go share the feed, give it to your mama, your baby mama, your baby's mama's mama, your aunties. Shoot, send it to your DD. You know what I mean? Your designated driver when you go out and get drunk. Because you know for a fact you're going to be turning up this weekend for Juneteenth. So, and if you ain't, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? You're missing out on a good ass party this weekend. So, please go share this feed. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Go over to the secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips, and crush that subscribe button over there. That would really, really mean a lot. Again, T, say goodbye. He's busy daddying right now. Can you please say goodbye to the fam real quick?
See y'all later. Have a good rest of the day. And tomorrow is our day of partying, and Saturday as well.
Yes.
Juneteenth.
Yes, we will be doing a little bit of a giveaway tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We'll be giving away a little bit of cash tomorrow on the Friday show. So be sure to tune in if you want to make some monies. You want to make a little bit of the monies. Okay, you want to secure that bag? Call in. You want to call in and be a part of the show tomorrow morning. Okay, it is time to get going. Man, today could be a very beautiful day, with the end of it being, hey, President Joe Biden signing off and making Juneteenth a national holiday. I'm super hype about it. You don't even know. It's going to be a celebration this weekend, baby. Yeah. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. There's plenty of things that we missed today that we are going to be talking about tonight. So tune in. All right? This is The Pascal Show. Bye.